Right, so some big news in the heavyweight division is now coming out. First of all, David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde is on, but the trilogy fight between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol could be off and might not be happening at all. And look, I'm going to talk about Beterbiev and Bivol, the trilogy, first, because I feel like there's many different kind of things that are being said on it. So Bivol was first. It was first said that Bivol was forced to, fight his mandatory challenger. After he declined the Benavidez fight, relinquished the WBC title to pursue the trilogy fight with Artur Beterbiev. Now, apparently, it's came out from the Ring magazine that both Beterbiev and Bivol want the trilogy fight to be in Russia. And that's seeming bloody pretty impossible at this moment in time, to be honest with you. I can't see a way that happens in Russia right now with everything going on there, with that situation. And I feel like there could be a lot of unhappy people if this trilogy does happen in Russia, even though both guys are Russian. I'm sure it's understandable that they want to fight in Russia. But I feel like that's going to make it difficult for things to happen. But Turki Al-Sheikh did grant that wish, though, and says that it's fine. But I'm not too confident they're going to make a deal anytime soon. And third of all, we have heard that if the trilogy is to happen, then the trilogy is to happen in 2026. And all of this coming out, it just makes me think, is this trilogy off and we're just leaving it how it is 1-1? Is that what we're doing? Because I have a feeling that this trilogy fight might not happen at all, to be honest with you. That's the impression that I'm getting right now. I feel like it's highly likely that we don't see the trilogy between Beterbiev and Bivol. I feel like both guys definitely want it, but I'm not sure whether it's going to go down or not. I mean, also as well, Artur Beterbiev is like over 40 years old now. He's old and coming to the end of his career, and I feel like he's been looking slower, especially in that second fight against Dmitry Bivol. And I'm not really giving him a chance to win the rematch, the trilogy, sorry. Of course, he's got a chance, but I don't think he looked great in the rematch against Bivol. I feel like Bivol completely outclassed him in the rematch, and I feel like Bivol was hard done by in the first fight. Look, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm getting an impression that this trilogy fight might be off. I want to see it, especially now Bivol turned down the Benavidez fight to want this trilogy, which is understandable in my opinion. But I think the thing is, though, it's just Beterbiev being older now. I'm not sure what's going to be going on with mandatory challenges and everything like that. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But in my opinion, Bivol's 2-0 over Artur Beterbiev now anyway. I don't know why I've got Beterbiev's name first on the title on here. I don't know why, because Bivol's the champ. I'm a big Bivol fan, if you didn't know. But yeah, I think, if I'm being honest here, I think the trilogy fight is something that everyone wants to see. That's obvious. I think everyone wants to see the trilogy. But I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I don't know whether I trust it to actually happen, to be honest with you. I don't. It just feels weird to me, and I feel like that it's gone quiet recently about it all. Now we're hearing all this stuff that it's getting delayed and everything, and I just feel like there's a big chance as well that Beterbiev gets injured again, and we just don't end up seeing it happening. I just feel like there's many things that could happen that get in the way of this trilogy happening. Look, they're two greats of the light heavyweight division. They're two boxing greats. We want to see a trilogy, but if it's 1-1, then it's fine with me. But as long as Bivol can fight the Benavidez Yarde winner, which we'll get on to now. Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. This is an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. It was meant to be Callum Smith versus Benavidez, which is a weird one of how it's all switched about, to be honest with you. I feel like that's strange, to be fair. I was surprised when I saw the news that it's Anthony Yarde and not Callum Smith fighting Benavidez. And I feel like Benavidez, Callum Smith is it's a slightly better stylistic matchup, but I feel like Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde is also still a very good fight. And I feel like Anthony Yarde definitely gave Beterbiev a tougher test than what Callum Smith did. But again, styles make fights, and Benavidez and Callum Smith have very similar styles, in my opinion. So I feel like we were guaranteed a war in that one. But Benavidez, Anthony Yarde, both guys are big hitters. Again, both guys skilled guys. I feel like it's a good fight overall, to be honest with you. Different kind of styles here, though. Again, it makes things interesting. Yarde's one that the UK guys can get behind, but again, I'm a big fan of Benavidez, so I'm Team David Benavidez. But it's an intriguing fight, this one, but it's one that I'm pretty certain and sure of that David Benavidez will win. When I was looking at that Callum Smith fight, I'm thinking these styles are very similar and it could go either way. But with this one, it's like, it's going to be an entertaining fight to watch. Both guys are going to get success. Yarde's going to stun and hurt Benavidez at a point. But Benavidez will be able to weather the storm of Anthony Yarde, and Benavidez will get to him. And David Benavidez will probably end up stopping Anthony Yarde, if we're being honest here. But that Callum Smith fight, I feel like that was very intriguing because of how good and tall both guys are, and how much of a battle they would have had in the inside. Both very similar styles, tall guys, like fighting inside the pocket, non-stop pressuring their opponents. But again, Yarde's got a good jab. If he can push Benavidez back, which he probably won't, but it can be interesting. Anthony Yarde is a very strong guy, of course, as well, who you never know has potential to be able to bully Benavidez at times. But I don't think Yarde looked great against Lyndon Arthur in that trilogy fight. And I don't think he looked very good against Wilkins previously to that, to be honest with you. I don't think Yarde's been overly impressive since the Beterbiev loss. I don't think he's been in there with the biggest names since the Beterbiev loss. I think Benavidez wins this one, definitely. But it's an exciting fight, 100% it is, and I'm not against it at all. I would have much rather it be Callum Smith, though. I feel like he's more deserving of the opportunity than what Anthony Yarde is. But again, I don't really have many complaints about it. I'm going to watch. I'm going to be excited for it. Let's wait and see. Anyway, thanks for watching.